Me being Ukrainian, a lot of people have asked me like how I feel about this. And while I have to say that I'm extremely heartbroken by this, what happened to Iryna is awful and despicable. As a Ukrainian, I have to tell you guys, this is not good. The martyrification of Iryna is not good. Y'all really need to understand that martyrification does not happen in a healthy society. This kind of thing is absolutely not normal. This is what a government does when they have absolutely lost control. Ask me how I know. It's not a good sign. I grew up with literal child war hero martyrification. We had to like read books about that on our summer break because our country was very much in turmoil while I was growing up. And still is. Ukraine has always been under attack from something or someone. We've never known a moment of peace, and we've never known a day without the martyrification of somebody. So that is not a good sign. In a healthy society, we would have long ago been able to acknowledge it's not appropriate for the government to do this instead of like practical, accessible, and legitimate solutions. This is what a government does when it's in turmoil, when there's not enough like money, when they don't actually want there to be law and order, when they're not actually interested in that, or when they're like incapable of achieving it with the means that is available, or if they're choosing not to achieve it with the means that are available to them, the shortcut that they're going to take is martyrification. And unfortunately, in America, martyrification usually serves like a double purpose. It honestly doesn't work as well in other countries as it does in America, and that's because these martyrs are used as a racial divide also. Because the truth is, this isn't about a white person being killed by a black person. Even though it took some of y'all about 0.5 seconds to put the hoods back on and start talking about how this is a racially motivated crime, the statistics and facts bear out the fact that this is a gender-based hate crime. Honestly, if this was like a really big problem, then you'd probably see a headline about it every 5 days or so. Oh, wait. We do see a headline about every 5 days or so. Let's see what it is. I horribly misspoke. Actually, a lot worse than I thought. Femicide is so prevalent in the US that 70% of all cases of femicide occurred in the US. On a global scale, this is a pretty staggering statistic. We rank 34th for intentional female homicides at a rate of 2.6 killings per 100,000 women. In the US, almost 3 women are unalived by an intimate partner every day. Every day, women in the US are predominantly unalived by men they know and largely by current or former intimate partners. 92% of victims were unalived by a man they knew. So by all means, this case is a pretty extreme outlier. To not let yourself be distracted by the fact that both white women and women of color are predominantly unalived by men they know. It is not an issue of white women being unalived by black men. It's an issue of a women being unalived by men, being spun into a narrative where, oh, a black man killed a white woman. This is your government trying to radicalize you and put the blame for things that they're actively ignoring onto the back of marginalized people, as they've always done. And most importantly, I really hope that none of y'all are deluding yourselves into thinking that these guys, Andrew Tate and Elon Musk, would be doing a shred of this if this wasn't a woman who was young, thin, blonde, white, extremely helpless in the situation, a refugee. Like, all of these things really play into it, and all of this is really gonna do wonders for like mobilizing the victims of the male loneliness epidemic, because they will basically feel like they missed out on their shot with her. But trust me that these perverts would not be that worked up over this if this was like an 87-year-old woman. They would not be plastering murals of her all over like these major cities. Like, they're really only doing this because they find her physically desirable, which makes this gross on a whole nother level. Definitely feels like something is being fetishized here, you know what I mean?